Livingstone Mantanga is from the African Council for Hawkers and Informal Business. It's an organization that represents vendors. He joins me now in studio, and I want to pick up Mr. Mantanga from where I left off with the police commissioner. He says his doors are open. And I know your organization has been complaining about the fact that politicians don't listen to them. Law enforcement authorities don't listen to you either.
Well, firstly, I will say that this is a norm in whether it's a politician, whether it's police, their doors are always open. But when we knock to their doors, nobody take notice of us. This ACHIP is having about 33 years been in existence, but it's not been recognized. And we condemn any brutality and harassment of vendors because, in the first place, the police knows where is the source of the counterfeit.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what the commissioner was saying now, that they knew where these goods were. They knew who they were targeting. But upon arrival there, it seemed like the people they were targeting knew that the police were coming, and they had prepared for their arrival. And that really is the source. He reckons everybody else was caught in the crossfire, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they knew who they were going for.
Well, the reason why they find that they were those guys were prepared for them, because some of them, they are in relation with them. But what we are saying, and we are appealing to those companies, South African companies that are affected by this counterfeit, to come together and talk to the South African, to the hawkers, and train hawkers to understand what is the counterfeit, what is not a counterfeit. And our appeal is not being heard, even by government, because government always are promising all the nice things for small businesses, but at the late of the day, we are not. Now, you find...
Have you tried to engage them? Have you tried to get the assistance of government, for example, in educating your members about these sorts of things? Because, I mean, you are part of a bigger network, you know, of NAFCOC,
yes.
For example.
Yes.
I mean, you have ministers of small business, you know,
yes.
Whose job it is to actually, you know, listen to your problems.
Well, I can say that we have been knocking to the doors of government because government in the public space will say their doors are open. But when we go there, they keep on promising and saying coming back to us. But I cannot blame only the government. We blame the big businesses, because the big businesses are not listening to us, are not even empowering the small businesses. And that is the thing. We are calling on them to say, come together, because we are there, we are having hawkers around the country. And those hawkers could distribute the South African products so that the factories could have more job, because there is a lot of distribution. But now, what we are understanding, and it's a challenge to us, is that always when there is a problem, the first soft target will be the vendors. And we condemn that brutality to the vendors. And the issue of foreigners, we cannot talk about foreigners because we have been talking about that, and at the late of the day we were called xenophobic. We say every hawker, we protect every hawker, whether it's coming from which country. But if it's a hawker, it's a honest, because hawkers are honest and law-abiding citizens. They wake up at 5 o'clock and they were working very hard for their own income. So the only problem that I'm having, we have promises that are not fulfilled by government.
Maybe, I mean, it calls for then, for lack of a better word or description, a multi-pronged strategy where perhaps, I mean, you really mobilize civic organizations, you mobilize political parties. You know, because of, I mean, from local up to national level, so that you fight this thing on all fronts. Because, I mean, at local government, those are the people who are supposed to provide you with the facilities without necessarily disadvantaging you, in other words, throwing you to like faraway places where you can't really access, you know, the people who need to buy your goods. But at the same time, through laws, but also, I mean, your home affairs departments and so on should play their role in ensuring that those people who are here legally, you know, are not. But also, I mean, the issue of xenophobia is not something to be, to be dismissed or ignored. It is a reality that a lot of us are, in fact, xenophobic. What I'm saying is, it's something that has to be fought on all fronts, and maybe you should proactively start a campaign approaching everybody you can perhaps speak to.
We started a campaign long time ago. There was a world-class city conference, and we came up with a proposal that we are putting to the local government on issues like counterfeit, because this counterfeit, there are shops that are open for public, where hawkers could go and buy Nike and go and sell it
Cheaply.
And they get it cheaply. And we say that if those companies that are doing the same thing, why they cannot come down to us and talk to us? Instead, they can talk to Pick n Pay, because today Pick n Pay is opening a spaza shop now in Soweto. So one of the challenges that we are facing since our democracy is that policy making. When there is time of policy making, we already find policies that are already tailor-made by big businesses and the official.
And you have no influence.
And we don't have any influence in the formation of those policies.
Well, hopefully that will change sooner rather than later. But thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you, sir.
This evening. Livingstone Mantanga from the African Council for Hawks and Informal Business.